Welcome to RiseUpTV.com. My name is Jim Hollinger. I'll be your host today. Got a very special guest with me that's going to be sharing with us. But right now, we'd like to go ahead and get things rolling. In 1885, New York City had a problem. They were trying to figure out how to take the Statue of Liberty, which came in crates and was stored in a warehouse and needed to be put together, but they didn't have enough money. Congress couldn't agree on how to fund it. Nothing new there. The state of New York said, we can't afford to do it. New York City said, we can't do it. And so people began to put their heads together and said, what can we do? And so the American spirit began to take over of we can do it, began to take over. And at that time, Joseph Pulitzer decided to launch the first fundraising campaign in newspaper, the New York World. They raised over $100,000 from 160,000 donors. Now, if you understand it, that's telling us that most of the people gave under $1. As a matter of fact, it was so widespread that people were given nickels and dimes and quarters, and kids were given pennies, and the money was raised. So it was a successful project, and it could be pointed to as a great fundraising campaign. In 1982, President Reagan initiated a private foundation, and he asked Leah Iacocca to raise over $7 million to refurbish the Statue of Liberty for the centennial. In 1982, President Ronald Reagan initiated a private foundation that raised over $700 million to refurbish the Statue of Liberty. He asked Leah Iacocca to head that project up, and the money is still coming in. I'd say that's a successful project. In 2008, President Obama raised over $500 million for his 2008 campaign to become president. As a matter of fact, in 2012, he signed the Jobs Act, which says that businesses can raise money through crowdfunding, that's a legitimate way for them to get money because the banks were so restrictive and so tight that he wanted to be able to allow people to do that. So we're going to be talking about crowdfunding today and the different types of crowdfunding, and that's going to be an important part. But the Statue of Liberty did get put together. You can see the people up here looking out toward New York. And the American people have another problem in their hand. Once again, Congress can't seem to get things done, but the American people have solved a problem that they are facing, and that is that the middle class is disappearing, and people are trying to figure out how they can make enough money to do what needs to be done and to be able to overcome some of the obstacles we face today. What would you do with $100,000? Well, a lot of people are turning to fundraising, crowdfunding, Kickstarter, GoFundMe, and these different projects. But there's some things that you need to know about them. You need to know what the different types of fundraising projects are and how they work. What is fundraising? What is crowdfunding? What is community funding? How does that play into it? And now, introducing today, cooperative pool sharing. And why most people fail. Did you know that over half the people never raise the money they're trying to raise? Why? Well, they don't have the help and they don't have the guidance that they need to get started. A lady called me and she wanted to raise some money to go on vacation. Her and her husband wanted to take the kids for a week-and-a-half trip to Disney World, and she wanted to find out about how crowdfunding worked and how they could raise that money. And so I looked at her and I said, well, let me ask you a question. Are you going to ask your family and friends to give you money so you can go on vacation? And I could tell that she's having a struggle with this. She said, well, no, I don't feel right about it. And I said, let me show you a better way. I said, you need to think about cooperative pool sharing and funding, because what that is people that with the same kind of ideas working together in a cooperative way. There's nothing new about it. It's been done for years. The early pioneers did barn raising and house raising together as a cooperative effort. If you moved into a town where you were wanted to move to and you wanted to build a house, they would help you build it. But first you would have to help other people that were ahead of you to do that. And when you did it, then your turn would come up and they'd build your house and they'd do that with you. That practice is still carried on today. The Amish do that. The Habitat for Humanity does that. And before you can move into or buy a Habitat home, you've got to first help other people build that home. And that's the cooperative part of this, is people working together. It's kind of like, would you rather play football by yourself or basketball, or would you rather be on a team? We'd rather be a part of a team. It's a whole lot more fun. It's a whole lot easier. And so we're going to invite you to become a part of a team as I explain this. We live in a town where there's a lot of college people. And I came across this crowdfunding project that I wanted to share with you. And this is Alexis. Alexis was overwhelmed because she had a school bill due of $5,000. She didn't have any money. She came from a family where she lived with her mom and three sisters. She put together enough money to get into school, but didn't have enough to finish it out. And so she was seeking to raise $5,000, and she needed it in 27 hours. So her friend said, look, why don't you put together a crowdfunding project? Last year, paying off student loans grew by 4,017%. And she goes, well, would you guys help me? And they said, yeah, we'll help you. We'll get it done together. And so that's what they did. Put together the project. She went to her social media, broadcast it out through Facebook, through Twitter, and she was absolutely overwhelmed when she had $5,000 raised in 27 hours. She went to her crowdfunding page to thank everyone, and she wrote this down. Today, you all showed me that there is love in this world and that hard work is never in vain, no matter how hopeless the situation seems. You all are incredible. I will pay every cent forward as I continue on the road to success. She ended up receiving over $9,700. And the word of mouth is the most powerful tool that you have. You see, this was successful because all the kids were in school. It was getting toward the end of the year. They needed to raise money, and they did. Now, during the year, you can change your project if you create a project with us, and I'm going to share with you why you would want to do that. Because the average crowdfunding project costs anywhere from 5 to 10 to 15%, depending on how much of the fees that you actually count. We're going to show you today how you can create a funding project for $200 one time up front. We live in a college town, and I've got a special guest with me here. We live in a college town, and there's 5 different colleges in the area, and I've got a special guest with us today, and her name is Jenny, and I'm going to ask her to share with you a little about the Chinese ministry that she's had now for over 25 years, isn't it?
Yes. I have been helping Chinese students learn English and improve their pronunciation, American culture, and I also have been sharing with them about the God who created them. Many of them are very curious to learn about God, which is exciting. And then I have many of them who wonder if I've been to China and have invited me to come to China. With teaching them and giving them Bibles and taking them places, inviting them to our home, I would like to raise some funds to be able to pay some of the expenses that I have incurred. Now that I'm retired, it's tight. And I would love to one day be able to go to China to visit many of my friends there.
Well, thank you, Jen, for sharing that with us. And the opportunity that we have here in South Bend with all these colleges is a way to share with them, first of all, how to pay off their school bill, and second of all, sharing the gospel with them and the fact that God loves them. So thanks, Jen, for your many years of service for doing that. This is Bob. He's another person that I invited. These are the first people that I've actually invited to become a part of our crowdfunding project and our crowd raising money. And Bob's goal is he's been working with Little League for over 40 years. He's a retired insurance agent, and he spent a lot of time play ball with the kids, and he also spent time raising funds. And he was telling me that the fundraising isn't the way that it used to be when it comes to Little League, because they don't want to put kids out on the street selling candy anymore. And some of the other things that they did have been, they were told that they couldn't do it. But he wants to help raise funds for the Little League, and especially for the Challenger program. And if you don't know what the Challenger program is, it's kids that want to play ball, but they have a challenge in doing that. That's the name Challengers. They need to raise $1 million to build a stadium just for them. That's accessible with the wheels and walkers and everything else that's needed there. And so they need to raise $1 million, and he wants to head that project up. And by doing it as a unit, as a cooperative, what happens is this is a way for Little League to give back to their parents. If you remember the first video that you watched, because when they donate to the Little League can give them back a crowdfunding project where they can raise money to send that young man, that young woman to college, or to pay off their student loans, or to help them with starting a business. And so it's a giving back to the community that's helping us. And it also makes it easier when it comes to raising money to be able to do it that way. And I'll explain more of that in a little bit. Another person I like to tell you about is Mitch. Mitch is the first guy I actually enrolled, and his project is to provide for veterans' needs. He is a veteran, and he wants to raise money for the vets that need the additional income or have challenges in their life and needs that they have. He also wants to make enough money to actually pay them to do some of the work that needs to be done to get started. And so he's got a great project there. He's off to a good start. He invited 8 people here his first week. And so Mitch is running good and hard. And our goal is to help people get promoted in 24 hours. What is cooperative funding? Exactly how does it work? Well, it's kind of simple. Instead of asking people to give you money, and from all of your friends and all of your family and from the people you know to give you money, we reach out to them and ask them what their goals are. How can we give back to you by donating to us? Become a part of our cooperative pool sharing. You know, people that have dreams and goals, they'd like to take care of some medical expenses. They need to increase their income. They've got a house that needs to be repaired. We can help do all of those things with our cooperative pool sharing. Let's explore how it works and what it can do to help you achieve your goals and your dreams. First of all, there's 2 ways we receive our money. The first one is donations. You tell somebody about your project, they come up to you and they give you $300 in cash, and they say, here, I want to help you out with your goals and what you're trying to do. You take the $300, you put it into your bank, you put it in your pocket, it's yours, they gave it to you. They send you a letter, a card with money in it, you accept it. They give you a donation on your website, and they hit your donate button. That money goes directly into your account. That's your money, and it's yours, and there's no charge or fee for them for the donations that you receive. Then we have pool sharing donations. This is something that the company put together because they knew that it was going to be easier for everybody to do this if we were working together. First of all, how much does it cost? There's a $250 annual fee to set up your project. Once you have a project, though, you can begin to share that with other people. And we encourage you to do that in your first 24 hours. And here's the reason why. First of all, whenever anybody buys a platform, they enroll, you're going to receive a commission. So you go to Rick and say, Rick, I know you guys are getting married in 6 months, and I wonder, Rick, I know you guys are getting married in 6 months, and I wonder, would you like to take your wife overseas on a nice vacation for $250? Now, what do you think Rick said to that? He said, sure, tell me about it. And because he knew he couldn't afford it any other way. So he explained the platform to him, he explained how it works and why people with regular projects can raise money this way by helping other people. So Rick said, let's do it, I'm in. You're going to receive $120 commission when Rick joins. You're also going to receive $120 that goes into your pool sharing fund, and that money is money that goes into that the company places into pool sharing so that your profits can grow. Then you know somebody else and you invite 2 people. That's what we need to do, invite 2 people. Somebody who is a graduate and they're graduating and they need to pay off a school loan, or maybe you got somebody who's had a school loan around for like 20 years and they need to get rid of it. Show them a way to do that. You're going to receive another $120 commission that goes into your pocket and another $120 that goes into your pool sharing. When you've shared this with two people, and that's the only real requirement we have here, you share this with two people, what happens is that money goes into pool sharing so it can grow. And by sharing it with two people, that qualifies you for 10 different pools of money that you'll be able to have a share in, a part in. It's the power of duplication. Two people tell two people about this, and when they tell two people about it, it grows. I remember when my father-in-law and mother-in-law were having their 50th wedding anniversary. They invited the whole family. They wanted to make it a big deal, and they said, come on up. We're going to take a family photo. And when the photographer got there to take the pictures, he had to try 3 different places because he couldn't find enough room to get everybody in the picture without them being seen. So he wanted to try that. And as they moved from location to location, Dad at the last location said, you know, he looked at his wife, all of these people are here because of the two of us. That's the power of two. And we want to share that power with you because it's 2 people shared this with 2 other people. Now you've got 4 people that have goals and dreams. They share that and they duplicate it again. Now you've got 8 people. So whether it's creating a project for Little League, putting together money to go on vacation, or maybe you've got a worldwide project you'd like to support, or you want to become a doctor, or maybe you've got some medical needs to take care of, you need a new car, these things can all be funded with our projects. Like to turn your hobby into something that you can do for fun and be able to afford to do it. Maybe you'd like to market on the internet and with us and join our team. Most people in this just do this to get their 2 people, but there are people who like to help other people, and that's me. I'm one of those. Maybe you'd like to remodel a home. So these projects can all be funded with our system. I want to give you a disclaimer here because we're going to talk about how money is made. And the first thing I want you to know is as we talk about this, I'm going to show you mathematically how it works. Not mathematically how it's going to happen, but how it works and how we're paid. This is not a perfect world, and the reason I say that is because some people don't invite just 2. Mitch invited 8. I invited 5 my first week. There are people that I've invited who haven't invited anybody, and some people take the first month just to get ready. They want to understand everything. And I look at it and say, well, when I look at something like this, I say, can I do it? And how much is it going to cost? And can I do it? So let's talk about that. The first thing you need to know is, do you have a project? What would you do with $100,000? That's our goal. So the first thing you want to do is share this with everybody, and you say, look, you want to invite 2 people. We've already found out that if you invite 2 people, you're going to receive $240 in your wallet and $240 into your pool sharing. You're going to teach the people that you invite to do the same thing. You're going to help them do that. You're going to show them, here's what you do. All you do is ask people to take and watch a 3-minute video with you. When they do that and people join, they receive $240 in their wallet and $240 goes into their pool sharing. On the 3rd pool is when you start receiving the pool sharing back. There'll be 4 people, 4 shares of pool sharing there of $240 each. You receive these as soon as the people that you've invited, we push them up the ladder. And as soon as that happens, you're going to receive $240 as each one progresses, up to $960. And this is the way it works for everybody that joins. Everybody comes to be part of us. On the 4th floor, you're going to receive 12 shares that are available, up to $5,760, $480 at a time. On the 5th floor, there's 28 people there. The checks are $960 up to a total of $26,880. On the 6th floor, there are 60 people there. On the 6th floor, there are 60 people there, or a total of $115,000, and you'll receive checks of $1,920 at a time. There's the $100,000 we were seeking to raise. And it was done by helping a few people being able to do the same thing that you're doing. Now, that's not the end of their story. Remember I told you there were 10 pools? We're not going to cover all of them, but I do want to cover the next floor. There are 124 people there. And if you notice that these numbers have been doubling, you just look at all these numbers here and they double on each pool. So that means you're going to receive $7,680 checks, $3,840 checks, 124 of them comes up to that amount. The reason I wanted to show you that is because we have people that need to raise $1 million, and I already gave you some examples. We have people, if they want to build a new church, they need to raise $5 million, $7 million. All of that can be done with our cooperative effort and also the donations. So what happens is that a church or Little League can give back to the people that are donating to them, and that will continue to make all of this grow. We're going to change the way fundraising is done. The company makes their money in two ways. We already found out there's no fees for all donations that are received to you direct or by your donation button on your page. Of the $250, $10 goes to the company. That's the cost of setting up the account and maintaining that. The second way is when we share in pool sharing. This is something that the company has done extra and above, and they deduct 20% of the money up to $50 for a fee. So that what that means is if you donate $100, you receive $100, they're going to take out 20% or $20 for their fee. But it also means that if you receive $250 or more, even up to $10,000, the fee is just going to be $50. So there's a ceiling on it, and the company makes their money the same way we do. They invite people to share. They invite people to become a part of the projects just like we all do. Do you know anyone, maybe yourself or a friend, that needs to raise money for any type of dream or project? We can help. To become a part of the team, just get back with the person that invited you and say, hey, how can I do this? How do I get started? And it's your turn to start seeing your dreams and your goals become successful. That's the first thing that we want to take a look at and that we want to cover. I want to show you one more thing here that's important. You shared this with 2 people, and then I want to take you to our website. And this is our website. It's WeShareFF.com, and everything that I've just shown you and more is right here. We've got videos and testimonies of the people who are doing this and their successes. We've got a special goal. My project is, I didn't tell you about my project. You know why? Because that's not the priority. But it may be for you, because my gift to you when you enroll is right down here. Just play that video and you'll discover my gift to you at no cost. When you join, you want to go up here and hit the join button, and that takes us to our sign up page. You'll roll down below here and you'll see your name there. This is Jenny's right here. And you go ahead and sign the person up right there. They can join with a credit card or a Bitcoin. We have one fellow who joined because he collects Bitcoins. So he wants to be paid in Bitcoins. The other thing I wanted to let you know is when you invite a guest and they haven't joined yet, then what they do is you bring them here, you put in their name, okay, their email, and the name of you, their inviter, goes right here. And you always want to ask them, what would they do with the $100,000? You want to know what their why is. Why would they want to do this? Why would they do it? And then submit that. There's other things here. Just go ahead and explore this. Take a look. If you want to donate, remember I said donations go direct. You go ahead and hit the donate button right here. Put in the amount that you want to donate, the debit card here, expiration, the code in the back, the zip code, and what it's for. Okay, whether you're giving it to them to send them out to dinner, whether you want to send Jen to China, she'll accept that donation. You just put that all in there, and that's how it works. And yes, by the way, Jen is my wife. This is the picture of both of us. We've decided to do this together because we both have different goals. My goal is to help as many people as I can. Hers is to keep doing what she's doing. And so that's what we want to accomplish, and that's our goal, and that's how it works. Okay, explore the website, take a look at it, and I'm going to challenge you to go to the bottom, because if you want to know why we do this all, there's a video here, right here, Random Acts of Kindness. That'll kind of explain why we do what we do. And if you'd like that, become a part of the team, and you share that with us, we will help you with everything that you need to know about how this works. So join the Rizeup TV. We can put you on. We're looking for people to interview and who want to share their project with others. Thank you for having us today and being a part of what we're doing.